And we are live with Spot Dodge, a live Nintendo podcast where every single week we react to the latest Nintendo news and talk about the games we are playing. With me here today is, as always, Mary Stowe, social media manager and host here at Destructoid. How you doing, Mary?
I need an energy drink. I'm tired.
I'm pretty tired too. Then we have John Friscia, indie developer and managing editor over at The Escapist. How you doing, John?
I was tired, but now I'm just hyped to be here, Brett.
Holy. You started yelling, but your voice got quieter, like you were whispering. But I'm really
yell whispering.
And then we have Greg Vargas, writer at PC Invasion and streamer over at Dynamite Giraffe. How you doing, Greg?
Unlike Mary, I too am like John, and I am hyped. Let's go.
Your guys' hyped voices are kind of quiet, I'll be honest. You're both like, I'm very hyped right now.
I'm a shy guy, man.
No, that might just be how my mic reacts to like fluctuations.
Yeah, maybe it's
because
like,
it's so bad.
Your freaking headset mic, damn it!
I'm
it's
just
the bane of my
screaming top
existence.
speed.
I'm so.
What?
That
Anyway,
was John's mic blowing out.
Oh.
I was like, what's he gonna say? Then we have Eric streaming the show live from his supercomputer. Thank you, Eric, for being the mastermind behind this freaking horrible show, right? But no, I'm Brett Medlock, host and content creator here at Destructoid, and we're going to talk about Nintendo. We have some fun topics today, but for the opening topic, it's kind of Nintendo related, but not really. Xbox is doing a brand new showcase, allegedly. No one knows yet, but apparently later this month, they're going to be doing a showcase, and it's going to be shaking things up. They're going to change their format, which have been pretty terrible. So the episode that we talked about Xbox's live shows, we couldn't remember the names of anything, probably because they were always terrible. But I actually went and looked it up. Inside Xbox was like the 4-hour-long terrible show that they used to do. And they started off pretty good. They were announcing some cool things, and they did it in like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And then they were just padded like nonsense. And they were talking about controllers for like 2 hours, and it was horrible. And then aside from that, they also... What?
I was gonna say, it felt like a GameStop, like when you're in GameStop and
it's
they have
exactly what it felt like.
B-roll playing on the TV. Ugh.
Yes, that's exactly what it was like. And then aside from that, they did those terrible Twitch streamer focused shows that were also like 4 hours long. And like they had a bunch of obviously scripted and paid Twitch streamers to come promote their games, and it was just abysmal. It was the worst thing I've ever seen. But one of the cool things that they did behind the scenes that didn't get nearly enough views, and I'm hoping that this new show could, I don't know, sort of shed the light on, is they actually did these ID at Xbox showcases that literally no one watched. Like, no one. They have an ID at Xbox channel, and if you go and look at the views on their official Xbox channel, they'll get like 1,000 views on a new trailer or something. It's like ridiculous. And the ID at Xbox shows, they did like 5,000 views tops. And it was just like, wow, these are amazing games. They actually revealed that Tunic was coming to Game Pass at one of those shows. And no one watched it. And everyone was just like, wait, what? Tunic? It's coming to Game Pass? So yeah, they have had some ups and downs throughout the digital era of these showcases where they stopped doing live shows and they're starting to do stuff that's streaming. But now, this month, called the Xbox, sorry, I forgot to write it down now, I can't remember. The Xbox Developer Direct. And apparently it's going to focus on Forza, Redfall, Minecraft Legends, and maybe not Starfield, but also Bethesda or the ZeniMax Online games. So guys, after that long opening, Mary, I'm going to toss it to you first. What do you think Xbox can do to really turn things around when it comes to their digital showcases? And is there anything specifically you would like to see from them, like maybe copying Nintendo's formula, which Sony copied?
I don't know. Like looking at like the rumored list, which is like, what was it? Redfall, Forza, Minecraft. I'm like, that's nothing really new that would like catch my attention. I'm more interested in like what Bethesda's would be working on. So like I'd be surprised if there wasn't like any of like the Starfall stuff. Starfield. Did I say Starfall? I just combined it with Redfall.
That's close enough.
We always combine.
Yeah.
You got
Pretty
it.
sure I did the same thing one episode.
Yeah, but like I'd be surprised because that's supposed to come out this year, I think, unless it gets delayed.
It better come out. I mean, I hope so. Like, come
Yeah,
on, it's time.
but I'm like, I don't think they would talk about Elder Scrolls 6
No.
at this.
No.
Like, I think that's
Not
gonna
this
be
one.
later.
But in the
They- we-
future, I
Yeah.
mean, apparently this is their initiative to be more transparent with where games are at in development and whatnot. Like that's what it was in the Windows Central report. So hopefully that's true. Hopefully, like maybe not this one since they got some games they need to talk about, but in like 4 months from now or something, they can finally talk
Yeah.
about like where's Hellblade, where's like how far along is the Elder Scrolls in development. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it'd be kind of cool to see like maybe if they have concept art, or like what did BioWare do with Dragon Age? It was like kind of like a dev diary sort of thing where they showed like a little bit of like very, very early like 3D models like being rendered and like being animated, but still it was like, okay, it's being worked on. And like, even though I'm very impatient to see that, it was nice to see it. So maybe they'll incorporate a little bit more of that since it was going to be, what was it, the developer direct? Maybe they
Yeah.
will show us a little bit more behind the scenes, especially since it feels like games take forever to be made now.
Yeah, too
A
long.
little bit more transparency would be nice so we don't feel completely forgotten.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know if you guys ever watched the Hellblade dev diaries that they did before that game came out. I was like super into those, and then I actually ended up loving the game as well. And I felt like it felt like the journey really started whenever I started watching those dev diaries, and then it ended when I beat the game. It was like this long build up, and it actually paid off. I would like that for other games as well. Like maybe not every single game, but like to get like these monthly dev diaries, or I don't know about monthly for these developer directs, but like quarterly updates on like what's going on, where games are at, like and they have quite a bit of service games as well that they could showcase new content come into those games. And man, they're gonna have so many first party studios under their belt after the Activision deal goes through that it's like they need something like this. Like they have to have something like this because one big showcase every year during E3 is just not cutting it at all. But John, how do you feel about it? Do you care or what's up?
I mean, the true answer is no. I'm so checked out on Xbox at this point. Like, I don't want to just be like a casual Xbox hater, but just like everything going on in that ecosystem is just like not even in my periphery. Like,
That's
yeah,
crazy, man. We're getting Persona this month. We're getting freaking
played them all.
on Game Pass this month.
Oh boy.
I'm just
Congrats
saying.
on all those games the other platforms already have.
If you just now started getting into Xbox, it'd be getting into those games would be a great deal. But yeah, I'm not gonna play those games. But still, I'm glad they're making, they're taking the initiative to bring these more John games to Xbox lately, Japanese games.
You know, I was thinking just earlier today, like again, I have
John,
no
turn your
data.
volume up a little, says Eric. Sorry.
I don't know how.
I guess talk louder.
I'm talking pretty damn loud. I'll just make threats out of everything I say from now on.
I like this, John. Threatening John. Yeah.
So anyway,
Visceral
as I was
John.
saying, so yeah, I know nothing about Xbox sales data or their Game Pass data, and frankly, as far as I know, basically no one does because they don't tell anybody. It's like a black box. But like, I wouldn't be that surprised if more people bought Persona on Switch than like played it through Game Pass for free. I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I could be totally wrong too, but it wouldn't surprise me.
With a game like that, I would not be surprised if it sold more on Switch than people who had Game Pass played it.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about a game like, let's say Wolfenstein 3 ended up coming to Switch since the other ones did, that game is going to get way more players on Game Pass than it's going to get purchases on Switch. It just depends on the style of game. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I guess my larger point is just that like when it comes to, and this is a conversation we've had before, and it's a point you've risen, Brett, is that when it comes to these Japanese games, like it's always cool when they come to Xbox, but the reason they get there so late in the first place is because they know everyone who's really invested in these things is just buying them in these other places first anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of
Yeah.
like damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like it really feels too late to build a Japanese ecosystem that's like really healthy and heavily supported on Xbox.
Yeah, like they would have to really try, which is
Yeah.
something that takes more money nowadays. Because, like Mary said, these
Yeah.
development cycles are way longer. So it's like
Right.
back in the day, you make Lost Odyssey, you make Blue
Right.
Dragon in 2 years or something crazy like that, and then you got it as an exclusive. But nowadays, if that same studio was to make a big AAA exclusive JRPG for Xbox, it's gonna take like at the minimum 4 years. At the minimum.
Yeah, at the minimum. Yeah, 4 years. Yeah. So yeah, I don't really know what the solution is to that. But I mean, at the same time, I mean, every console kind of has issues like that. Like on Switch, there's no Call of Duty there. And we've had that conversation as well. Like you're not getting first person shooters on Switch because nobody's coming to Switch for their hardcore first person shooter experience. So like
Yeah.
every platform has its blind spots. PlayStation probably has the fewest of them. So they're busy
Yeah,
trying
right
to
now.
invent their own problems to piss people off.
I think once, because Xbox has so many Western RPGs in development, I think once they all start hitting the market and they're not on PlayStation, like people are gonna finally start to notice, oh wait, that this console doesn't have everything under the sun. I actually have to get something else, or
Right.
actually, I don't know, play somewhere else.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess this if this conference is or whatever we're calling this direct, let's call it a direct, is if it's legit, then I guess it's a step in the right direction if they're attempting to have more transparency, but like it kind of feels like a weird stopgap after they've already gone so long with giving nothing. Like they had no Game Awards presence and they promised, "Oh, we're coming back, baby. We're coming back. We got things to
Yeah.
show." They showed nothing. This is just like the recurring theme. It's like it's not even the theme of like the past year. It's the recurring theme of like every year. Every year of
Yeah.
Xbox is the year that the games are coming next year.
They showed Spirit. Yeah, he might be there.
Great.
Yeah,
What's
Like,
Spirit? I'm confused.
enthusiasm.
Oh, Spirit. I was like, what game is that?
Yeah.
I was like,
Didn't
did I
come
miss
across
an
that way.
Xbox game called Spirit?
I think he need a
Probably.
shotgun a Red Bull.
Dude, I'm pretty tired. I stayed up all night playing that damn. I'll get to it later, but I don't even know how to pronounce it. Ueden Chronicles.
Ayuden, I
Ayuden
think.
Chronicles.
Yeah.
I stayed up all night playing that, man. But anyway, yeah, this Xbox conference, I'm just really hoping that they streamline things, make it like at the tops 45 minutes long, and just really showcase everything in a very well-made manner, because that's what I feel like they fail to do every time they do one of these showcases. Like whether they do like Forza for like 20 minutes and then like another game for like 2 minutes, it always doesn't seem like the appropriate amount of time for that game. But yeah, I really hope they copy Nintendo's formula. PlayStation literally just copy and pasted the Nintendo Direct formula.
Completely.
Like just
Mhm.
absolutely copy paste. They even had the panels that slide to the next one. It would be
Yeah.
hilarious
Yeah.
if Xbox did that exact thing. Like it's just the new thing now.
Gosh.
But yeah, I'm
They
trying to think if there's
they
any.
gotta act like they invented it. A brand
Exactly.
new experience, the likes of which has never been seen in the industry.
Here are new Nindies coming to Xbox.
Zindies, they'll call it Zindies.
Yeah, with an X.
Oh my god. No.
That'd be great. But yeah, and it's funny that they're literally using the word direct. Xbox developer direct.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
Yeah.
We got to keep that in mind. This is a report from Windows Central. So if it's wrong, blame them.
Yeah. We're completely on the level.
Yeah. But yeah, Greg, I never really asked you, Greg, but you sort of chimed in. Do you have any final thoughts on this? What do you want to see from this Xbox Direct?
Well, first thing I do want to comment on, that was really interesting what you said about like marrying that journey of like, seeing it in this preview format, given a dev diary on, how development's going. And then it's like, I don't know, it's like them showing you how to drive and then saying, all right, here you go. Here are the keys, like jump in the driver's seat, finish the last leg of the journey here. So I thought that was really unique. And I think that if they really lean into something like that, give us more, I think, content. I think they need to at this point, like show us something we haven't seen. I saw some reports and some details for Redfall, saying like, oh, this game is probably going to be a lot bigger than people think it's going to be. And I think, to that degree, like give us a release date, show us more, something that we haven't seen in the previous trailers that doesn't look so scripted. I hate scripted stuff like that. I hate even E3 presentations where it's like, oh, and here's my friend Bill. Bill's from our development team, and he's going to show you how to drive. Oh, thanks, Steve. And now I'm going to show you how to drive. What are they getting? And then, like, I don't want to fucking see that. Like, we are way beyond 2010 where you need to showcase games that way. And I think, going back to your other point about, having this like weird Twitch streamer showcase, like, I think that's like, I just don't understand how they can't just make a presentation that feels casual, that still gives us something new, that shows gameplay, that gives us a release date, that explains, features of the game, shows us something that we haven't seen. And I think that's where, Nintendo kind of wins at that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's a little cheesy. And yeah, some of it is, a little scripted, but I think they nail it in terms of like variety of what they're showing on screen, variety in details about the games. And so I think what I'm looking forward to most is like, man, you've had two other companies copy each other and show off these presentations. You got to have some put your knuckleheads together and come up with something that isn't a copy and pasta, but is also something unique enough to Xbox that really says, okay, like now you do have a library of JRPGs, and maybe I would consider purchasing an Xbox console in the future because of this and because of the exclusives you're about to show me. Like that's what I want out of this.
Yeah. And I feel like with every single one of these showcases in the future, let's say they do them quarterly, every one of them needs to have some type of big marketing beat. Like this is the show where we reveal Fable. This is the show where we reveal a huge feature in I don't know, Forza Horizon 6 or whatever. Like they need to have something that pops out of at least one big pop out of every show, because I feel like that's been their problem with these smaller showcases that they've done, with the Twitch one, the ID at Xbox one, and the Inside Xbox. Is I feel like a lot, like there was so much fluff that nothing could even shine. Like if there was something cool, like, it just got lost. And yeah,
there's got to be a better way to present Forza than you going through the presentation and jumping into each different type of vehicle in 4 different types of environments. Like there's got to be a better way than you saying
they got to change it.
We're going to the
one.
beach.
Well,
we're going to the
thing,
jump, and it's like, okay, I know
what's
that's
funny
there.
is that I think with the past 3 games now, since Forza Horizon 3, when they revealed them, they showed off the very beginning of the game, like where it has you jump from each car to each car, which isn't even like a part of the game. It's only at the beginning where you're switching cars like that. And they're really fun demos to show you like the environments and the driving and like just the beautiful visuals and whatnot. But they got to mix it up with the next one now. Like it'll be the 4th game in a row or whatever to do that exact thing. Like, and I'm really hoping it's Tokyo that they're going to next. But that's a whole different
That would be so
topic.
sick.
I would love to see Tokyo and Forza Horizon. I think it would be breathtaking. But yeah, that's all for Xbox's showcase. I'm excited for it. I hope it's something
That
good
exists.
and not. I want it to be good, like
allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly. And like Aaron Greenberg's like hyping it up, so it's like it's gonna be bad at that point. And I'm just kidding. Our buddy Aaron.
Everyone hates us.
Oh no.
Oh.
Well,
well,
it's a 3-person show now. What did we
The
eat
weirdest
for dinner?
typer in the world.
Oh, there he's back.
You're
Okay,
back.
Am I
Brett,
gone?
you disappeared on us for a minute.
yeah.
Weird. Did I
Your
just stop
face
talking out of
froze.
nowhere?
Yeah, you just froze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just did it again.
Oh no.
Yeah. Well, at least he's frozen in he's like ready for action in his frozen image.
Spit it out,
So-
Brett. Say what you were gonna say.
Yeah, we're waiting.
Man, it's at the tip of his tongue.
The
You can
seat of my
see it.
edge.
He's ready to pounce.
Tiger.
Okay. Well,
Hmm.
there's Mary's cat.
Yeah. Say hi,
Rudy.
What's your cat's name?
Kyrie. Like from
Kyrie.
Kingdom Hearts.
Aw.
Maybe Kingdom Hearts was named for the cat.
She's not
Ooh.
that old. She's just a baby.
Theory proven true.
Well, we're gonna have
Oh,
to
there he goes.
invent. We'll have to invent a new topic.
No.
Okay. All
What were
right.
we
Well,
on? The Xbox Direct, right? That's the first one.
yeah, we just finished
Yeah.
it up. All right. Well, what else we got on the agenda here? Not much. This is
Okay.
an utterly dead
Ah,
week.
Coming
Oh,
back. and
Poppy's
just
back.
try
There we
and-
go.
Try and make everything better. So yeah, that was my whole explanation on why Xbox needs to do this right. No, I'm just kidding.
Thus
I tried
ends
to
your
act like I was
thesis.
talking the whole time when I came back. I don't know if
Alright.
it worked.
Anywho.
But yeah. Guys, let's talk about, well, for 1 second, the digital future, because 89.5% of all games sold in 2022 in the UK were digital. That is an incredibly high percent. That is insane, actually.
Yeah.
I saw a disclaimer though that that's actually a BS stat and that it includes all mobile purchases.
Oh, man.
All
Oh
that's-
my-
mobile
well-
purchases are digital by default.
Yeah.
mean, it counts.
Cut his legs out from under him.
Hey, it's still okay. That is totally BS, and I should have read it before I pasted that. But it still does show us just how much people are so used to gaming now. But I mean, to
Yeah.
digital gaming. But yeah, that is whack. So never
Yeah.
mind. We don't even have
Does
to talk
mobile
about
does mobile include like Steam Deck now and like handheld devices?
I doubt it, no. But it App Store and Google Play, so I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
So,
true.
and that's
like-
probably more games and more purchases than like all the others times 10.
Yeah.
I would love to
Although-
see a post-mortem about like, Steam Deck and its, whatever splash it's made, if it's made one, little tinkle.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, it'd be nice if Steam would release some data.
wasn't the Steam Deck sales kind of low overall? That's what I heard.
Were they? I mean,
Like
they
less.
were perpetually sold out for a while.
Yeah, no, but I think it just had to do with supply. I heard that. Let
Yeah.
me see if I can find it. I heard that they were actually soft in comparison to something like
Oh.
Switch, which is insane.
Million units.
Yeah, well, only 1 million units.
Mhm.
Only.
And
I mean, that's.
I mean, I'd say for a first console.
Yeah,
I mean,
and this is
I-
literally
okay,
a
it's
computer.
It's not a
for-
little, but it's not a
Yeah.
lot. I mean,
I mean,
it's
it's a
1
portable
million units.
computer.
and how long? 8 months, 9 months?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, do you think the number would have been higher if there wasn't like the chip shortages, the supply issues with like the parts needed to like put the thing together and get it shipped?
Right. Yeah,
Like if there was
It's
more
wild.
of them.
Yeah, there wasn't exactly, a big marketing campaign around it. Like we didn't anticipate, what the Steam Deck was like we did for the Switch, and the Switch still sold gangbusters, but I mean it wasn't
Mhm.
exactly a big campaign around the Steam Deck and its innards. It was just like, this is the Steam Deck and here it is.
The
Oh,
thing
yeah.
about the console that impresses me is that the amount of times I hear about it, hear people talking about it, see articles about it, it seems like everyone has one. But the fact that it's only probably a little over 1 million, that just shows that I mean, even if people haven't purchased it yet, there's a lot of interest in the device. And I was actually listening to a podcast from Windows Central that managing editor over there, he said that their articles on Steam Deck do insane numbers, and that it's really
Mhm.
weird considering not that many people have a Steam Deck.
Yeah. And I was just thinking about like, we just had like the holiday season, people are getting consoles as gifts. I don't think anyone like within my circles gave or received a Steam Deck. I saw tons of Switches. So I'm kind of like,
Right.
Yeah.
like I think the
Yeah.
hype just kind of died down, it felt like, but people are still interested in like the follow-up of like, how are its sales? Does it still perform good? Because I think it's still like hard to believe that like it performs as well as it does.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's no Logitech G Cloud, but it's pretty good. I'm just kidding.
Here we go.
That's a household name.
Yeah, everyone knows about the old G Cloud.
Gosh.
It's flying off shelves.
I don't even know where is it only online that you can buy it? Where is it carried in
What,
stores?
Steam Deck?
No, the G
No,
Cloud.
your pretend device.
I think it's only on.
Your-
As far as I
your
know, it's only
your
available on
Logiflor G-Clued.
my Vagisil G-Clued. But I don't know where it's sold. I got it off Amazon at launch, and then they sent me one as well. So me and Gavin both played them all day.
I
Dang.
know you had two.
Yeah. I was gonna return the one that I bought, but in that time frame that it took to get to me, and when I had the one in advance, Gavin really loved it. So I was like, shit. Now I'm just gonna end up keeping the new one.
Mm.
I mean, I got that thing loaded up with like every console on the planet from like 10 years ago. and before. Actually from like 15 years ago and before.
Nice.
Actually at
Well,
this
that's
point,
cool.
maybe even 20 years ago and before. We're getting old.
Yeah. 20 years ago was GameCube.
Yeah, okay. So every
God.
console from 20 years ago and
Yeah.
before is on my Steam, my Logitech along with the 3DS. So yeah.
Boy.
Let's
Yeah.
move forward and talk about the GameCube controller is getting so there's this company called NYXI. I don't know if you pronounce it a specific way, but they revealed a GameCube inspired Switch controller and promise no drifting. Quite the promise right there. Sounds impossible.
Yeah.
What about Mario Kart?
Yeah, unless you're playing Mario Kart. This thing looks pretty cool, and I believe doesn't it also slide on to the sides of your Switch?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
That is awesome. So yeah, okay, yeah.
The
wow,
C
I
stick
see
looks
it.
nice.
Yeah, the C stick's like a normal stick, and the left stick they still got like that 8-directional thing on it. I'm pretty sure you can change it.
That's what I was just looking at. Was like I liked because like I don't know. There's something satisfying about feeling like the click, click, click for certain
Yes.
games. So
There is
I like that
or-
detail.
Or like when you're not even playing like it's a load screen, and you just go, you
Yeah,
just spin
I
it
would
really
do that
fast,
too.
and you hear it.
Yeah.
Because I'm playing Resident Evil 4 on Wii U right now, and I'd spin that little stick. And it's just there's something so satisfying about it. But yeah, I think this thing looks awesome. I tried emailing them and like finding an email, but their thing is that you have to order a thing and then you have to confirm that you're a real person. You got to meet a bunch of requirements. I'm just like, dude, I just want to make a TikTok about this and get you millions of views. But if you're making it that hard, then I'm not even going to try.
It sounds like they're doing their best to prevent like all of them just falling into the hands of scalpers because like the bots
Yeah.
and the scalpers are gonna be eyeballing this.
How much
yeah,
The
is
bane
this?
of my existence.
It's only 70. Wow. I thought it'd be more,
yeah.
to be honest.
Hmm.
I might have to
mean-
get one of these for TikTok and for like to play with.
Okay, how much would you pay for it? Like up to? Because I mean, that's
You
like
would
a
pay
pair of
$70?
Joy-Cons.
I would pay 70 tops. That's like the
Okay.
number.
You made something like you would pay more for it, and I was like, oh.
I mean, that seems pretty good to me. Let's see. Does it have like Rumble support and?
I would pay 69.
Probably
to
not.
do- But you can swap the C stick out for like a round one.
Yeah, like a classic one.
That makes it
Yeah.
harder.
I mean,
I
if
don't
you want to get all that nostalgia, like when you're playing Sunshine or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most third-party controllers don't have the Rumble or the Amiibo reader, so I
Right.
don't think this one would. I think that's like a very like Nintendo specific thing.
Yeah. And it
It's
probably
pretty-
doesn't have the IR thing either, which we always forget even exists, that it's even
Yeah.
technology. Yeah.
What's
No,
funny
you
is
can't
like
play 1-2 switch with it.
I know, right?
back
Deal
whenever
breaker.
back whenever the NES and SNES like attachments for the Switch Online stuff came out, I remember seeing a bunch of fan mock-ups that basically looked exactly like this for when GameCube games actually showed up on
Oh, yeah.
Switch.
Well,
Not that they ever will, but
and it's
No,
funny
never.
because like I was like, I thought I did something like this for a post years ago, and I went and I found it. No, I did like the Game Boy Advance
Mm.
one because that's when like the
Nice.
rumors had started circulating. I was like, oh, this would be like a good opportunity for like the little slide on Joy-Cons, So
Yeah.
I didn't do GameCube, I did Game Boy.
I gotta say though, I like this a lot. Like I like that you can use it on the
Mhm.
Switch. I like that you can use it wirelessly. I might actually get this. Like I'm gonna have to see if I can pre-order it or something. I'm pretty sure you
Like,
can right
I do
now.
I do like that, this has spawned like other companies like Satisfy, the Horus with a split pad, and they're both
Mhm.
viable attachments and controllers. So I do like seeing that, at least they're not facing obstacles by Nintendo for producing customizable controllers or something that looks so similar to a GameCube controller. I mean, being that, especially because Nintendo's not doing it,
Mhm.
which is mad
Yeah.
frustrating.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, it looks awesome, and I'm excited to maybe end up getting that. Like I know that would do good on TikTok too, so it's like it's kind of
Oh
like a
yeah.
bonus if I was to buy it like close to launch.
Hollywood Medlock.
I wonder if gamers would pay for it for TikTok. um, you know,
Daddy.
clarify for the listeners that that's the name of the company we work for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not
We're
like
not just telling the people listening to us to go
Allegedly.
buy it for us.
yeah,
You, the
allegedly.
gamers out there, will you
People
pay
listening
for it?
pay for this. Gamers with a
Crowdsource the
UR.
purchase of this controller for us. For Brett's TikToks.
Yep. All right, guys, let's talk about Fire Emblem Engage. Not sure if you guys saw, but Digital Foundry
heard
put
of
out
it.
a video showcasing the specs, how the game runs, a bunch of stuff, going down into like the battle sequences and how they transition and all that. Looks really awesome. The game runs at a brisk 30 frames per second, but apparently more stable than Three Houses, so that's good. But also 972p whenever docked. So we are past 720. Give them a round of applause, everybody.
Yay.
No, but
Wow.
970 is not so bad. Have you played Rise, Son of Rome? That's the prettiest 900p game on the planet, so I'm sure it'll look nice and decent.
Nice and okay.
But I am really impressed with how the game looks, especially when they go down
Mhm.
into the battle sequences. Like, it's never been this one-to-one with the overworld and then going down into the battle, and like the transition from like being on, like from the top and then going down, and then the environments they literally shift like in front of your eyes. There is like a small cut every time that looks annoying, and they mention it in the Digital Foundry video, but like there's like a small stutter, but everything just changes as it goes down, and it's the exact environments like one to one. So if you see a tree from the top, you zoom down, it turns into like a bigger, more detailed tree. And the
Mhm.
older games, it did something similar, but never one to one like it is in Engage. So I was just really impressed by that. Mary, thoughts?
I'm very excited and I'm happy to see like so many websites are reviewing it, or not reviewing it, but like their previews are presenting it in more like a positive light, because like from a fan perspective, I've seen a lot of negativity and it's been killing my hype a little bit. I'm like,
Mm.
come on, we're like 2 weeks out, where it's the month of release. I was like, I just want to be excited for this. And I haven't been watching the trailers because I want to like save some of the more story-based stuff for like my own experience. But to see that like it's performing well, it looks good, the combat feels good. The engage mechanic I think was mentioned in the Destructoid preview about like how it doesn't feel like as funky as it sounds, because it's like it sounds kind of like a really like gimmicky, like the engage mechanic, I think. But from the Destructoid preview that Chris Carter, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, Chris Carter wrote.
He said,
Yeah.
Fire Emblem Engage is a fun strategic romp so far. I'm eager to see where it goes. I'm not
Yeah.
confident that it'll top Three Houses, which admittedly is a high bar for many, but we'll see closer to launch.
Yeah, so it makes me happy. Like I read all of that. I was like, okay, I trust his opinion. Like mechanically it feels good. Story, I'll find out if I like it or not. But like as long as I have fun playing it, I'll be happy, I'm excited to see what it's gonna do, like what's gonna be new and stuff.
All the complaints that I've seen are people upset that it's a more linear structured story. It's not like Three Houses where there's a bunch of different things that can happen and different things play out like all crazy. And it's more like straight to the point. Like it seems like most people are going to get a very similar experience story wise. Whereas with Three Houses, they could totally diverge and be way different. which I'm fine with either one.
Yeah, I'm
I-
fine with
I-
that.
I loved my story in Three Houses, so I'm kind of sad that like other people who played through the game didn't get my exact story. So they might have like a totally different like viewpoint on the game. So maybe with this, it gives them a reason to make one story and make it as good as possible. And then, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it won't even be that good of a story. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
I mean, I played Fates recently, and like that one isn't favored as much like story wise, but like it was a good, not great story. But like altogether, like I would say I still had fun like playing the Fates games. So you can still
Yeah.
enjoy Fire Emblem with an okay-ish story.
This one apparently puts more emphasis on the triangle strategy. The
Mhm.
swords beat spears, and then hang on.
Axe. It's
Swords,
sword.
yes. Swords beat axes, axes beat spears, spears beat swords.
Mhm.
They're going back to that, which I like. I think that sounds fine to me. But I'm not like a hardcore Fire Emblem fan who's played every single one of them and beaten them all. So, Mary, how you feel about the combat? Are you excited?
I welcome it if it's going to be like a little bit more strategic and a little bit more challenging. Of course, like they're going to have like you can choose if you want to do like casual or classic mode, like which is permadeath or not permadeath. But if they did choose to like bring a little bit more detail to the strategy and the combat, I am like all for that. Three Houses didn't feel as challenging compared to previous games, and that's why I tell people like if it's your first Fire Emblem game, Three Houses is wonderful because I think it's a very good intro into like that type of combat within a game. So if they want to ramp up the difficulty, make it a little harder, I'm for that. That's just me.
I mean, I liked the challenge of Three Houses. I thought it was perfectly challenging. I didn't die like a ton, but I did like on the harder sections. But John, are you at all excited for this game? Are you gonna play it?
Don't care.
Okay, Greg, you're not gonna play this game.
I know, but I will say I'm pretty surprised at the the accommodations they're making to get it running at, would you say 970p or whatever it's running at?
972. And
Okay.
keep in
Yeah,
mind,
especially-
visually, it looks much better. Like I cannot stress that enough. It looks much
Yeah.
better than Three Houses. The actual
Yeah.
graphics.
It looks so
not,
good.
Not just the performance. Like they definitely pulled out all the stops. Maybe it's because they didn't have to
Yeah.
focus on 3 different stories. They were able to focus in other areas.
Yeah, right. They were
Yeah,
engaged.
just because I saw the
Yes.
the Digital Foundry video they did for Mortal Shell and how
Oh, yeah.
performed on the Switch, and just those
15 frames per
comparisons.
second the whole time.
Yeah, so that's pretty impressive, and I will say the art style, it looks like a beautiful game. So
Mhm.
good little
Yeah, I'm
pat in
excited.
the
That's
back.
this month. Like, Mary, we're
Next
definitely gonna do like
week.
a dedicated show for this one.
Yeah,
Um,
they better deliver that thing to me on time because I pre-ordered the special edition, so it's
Oh,
shipping,
man.
and it better
Mm.
arrive on Friday next week because I'm literally gonna turn my phone off for the weekend possibly and just be like, no one talk to me. I have Fire
I
Emblem to
guess.
play.
Blessed.
I have to beat Elden Ring before that game comes out, or else I'm never gonna beat it like ever. Because then it's just a slew of games for the next like 3 months.
Mhm.
But yeah, now we got some non-Nintendo news, which we could skip. So the former, well, we already talked about Forza Horizon. I should have just mentioned it back then. But two of the leads from the Forza Horizon series, they've left the studio and they formed a new developer. Why is this on a Nintendo podcast? Because you never know if they're gonna put that game on Nintendo. So I figured
Via the
I
cloud.
figured out, or in the cloud, or on the next more powerful Switch. Like, but either way, I'm excited for whatever these guys do. I love that franchise.
formed that-
And what?
What the Maverick was the
Yeah,
studio?
it's called
Maverick
Maverick
Games,
Games.
Whack name.
It's not terrible. It could be Play On or whatever that terrible company name is.
Such a dad name to give your
spelled
studio.
awful.
Maverick. Let's call
They
ourselves
wear
Maverick.
bandanas.
And this next one was mainly for Brett because I knew he wanted to talk about it, but he's not here tonight. But The Last of Us TV show has been received pretty damn well by critics.
Yeah. Yeah. Come to the
Like-
Escapist. Read our review.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
saw it. And by we, I
Nice.
mean our film critic.
And
He
I'm
loved
just
it.
kind of jealous that all the critics got to watch the entire season, and we got to
Yeah.
go through 5 months of episodes to get through it.
Yeah. So the thing is, usually if if you get a show pretty early before it debuts, that means that they have more confidence in the thing. And if they give you like the whole season, that means like they know they've got gold. And
Yeah.
yeah, our reviewer loved it. He's like episode 3 in particular is when things like really like quality shoots to the ceiling. So if you were on the fence about giving this thing a shot, you should probably watch it. Just put it
Yeah.
on HBO this Sunday,
Yeah.
9 p.m. ET. Give it a shot.
Yeah,
I was
I'm
planning to skip it, but now
I
I'll
was
probably give it
not.
a shot. I'll give it a shot. I was surprised. My best friend, he doesn't care about anything, and I just expect him to not watch things or do things, but he says he's actually gonna watch this, so I might as
They'll
well
give you a
watch it.
reason to watch it, so you can talk
Yeah,
about it.
yeah,
Yeah.
talk about it with him. So so there you go. There's
Yeah.
our big event for Sunday.
Yeah, we'll probably
the
end up talking
comparison,
about it
though.
on the show too.
Mhm.
I hate the like normie comparison though. That's I've heard so far that like
Yeah,
different entertainment websites are talking about like The Walking Dead in comparison to The Last of Us, and it's like, no, we don't
I
need
mean,
that.
they're both zombie
What?
shows,
Ew.
basically.
yeah.
But
They have,
I
they,
would
have, they
never
probably have
compare
similar
the two,
vibes.
though.
I
They
mean,
probably
it
got
makes
Are they
similar
zombies, though?
vibes. Yeah, basically.
zombie-ish. I mean, though, it makes sense in the entertainment space if you're looking at it from strictly that perspective. I mean, if you're talking about prestige television about like zombie-esque things, your only point of comparison is The Walking Dead. So I mean,
Yeah,
it
that's
makes sense
true.
if you're strictly talking about television. But
Yeah.
Yes.
beyond that,
Yeah, because like there hasn't really been any other hits in the zombie department in terms of television as of recently.
yeah, like I think this was like years ago. I think the Sci-Fi Channel had like some crappy low budget zombie thing, like it was like Z Nation or something.
Yes,
Oh,
that's what it was.
yeah.
I was
Oh,
interested.
yeah.
I watched the first episode and it was terrible, like absolutely terrible.
I never saw it. I just
You
remember
mean
the
it wasn't The Walking
commercials.
Dead?
Nope, that actually made me appreciate The Walking Dead even more.
And that show went on so long that when it finally ended, people like didn't even know. Like it wasn't really making big headlines or anything.
Yeah,
It just
technically
kinda done.
ended. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Like,
remember it was
I
so
mean,
big
it's not
too.
the thing is it's not really over. Like The
more
Walking Dead
spin-offs.
ended. There's still Rick's show. There's still
Yeah, there's more stuff coming.
a Negan show. There's still Daryl's
Yeah.
show. All the characters from The Walking Dead still have shows coming. The Walking Dead's not over. Like it's still
Yeah.
alive and well.
But,
But yeah, they actually just added the final season to Netflix, and I gotta watch like the last 5 episodes.
oh, is it on there
I've-
now?
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Nice.
I'm excited to watch it, to be honest.
I've
Finish it
actually
off.
I would do the
heard
same.
that the show rebounded in quality in like the last 2 to 3 years. They got a new showrunner. I think
it
Angela
got
Kang.
better.
Okay.
Yeah.
It hit some
guess
really low lows, and
Everyone
then it got
hated
better.
that Scott Gimple guy. And
Really?
I think he just like kept getting like more promotions, and so like he got like promoted out of ruining the show or something like that. And like Angela Kang started fixing it.
Yeah,
But I don't know.
but
I
yeah,
got
the thing
bored and
about,
I
before
quit
that.
watching it. So.
Yeah, I quit many years ago.
Mm,
I think it might be worth finishing off if you got far, but if you're still like
yeah.
I mean, the
halfway
comic's
or
good.
less.
Yeah.
I read the comic.
I
Yeah, I
read the
tried to
comic
finish
up
it out.
until the mayor or the governor. Yeah,
Mm.
Yeah, but when Glenn,
The mayor comes later. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Glenn scene, like that just did it for me.
Mm.
Really?
Just the show, you mean, or the
I don't
comic?
know. It
I
was,
felt like right
the
after that is
show.
when it was really
Okay.
good for a while, and then it got bad.
I don't know.
The best joke.
It just kept trying to outdo itself.
We're getting really off topic, but real
Yes,
quick,
we are.
the best the best joke I saw about that specific season of The Walking Dead after they killed the 2 people at once, there was like a Twitter joke that's like the whole season summarized, like first episode, should we take revenge? Last episode, yeah, let's take revenge.
Yeah,
That was
Basically.
that was the entire
Yeah.
season. Yeah. so,
Yeah.
pretty much. Like my complaint was that the most significant episodes of the seasons, like from like season 5 to like 10 was like the only significant episodes was the first and then the last of the season.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Everything else
Slices
is
of
just like
bread.
filler, random episodes of a character that's like being introduced. They're like showing us their backstory or something. It's like we
Yeah.
don't care. But But yeah, with The Last of Us, my main thing that I'm interested in, and I feel the same way, interestingly, about Resident Evil 4 Remake, which is it's taking something that I love and needing to retell the same story, but in a modern way. And for The Last of Us, it's a TV show way. For Resident Evil 4, it's more of like a modern way. So it's just like, it's weird. Like I feel uncomfortable almost about it. It's like, I love this thing, and now I have to watch someone play in the thing that I love and like change my toys, like when your cousin comes over during Thanksgiving and they mess with all your stuff. That's how I feel about them changing these things. But
I
I'm
don't know.
trying to go
I
in
feel,
half glass.
I still
or
feel
half,
like
glass half full. I don't know. Never mind.
I feel like at least for The Last of Us, it's a little bit different than Resident Evil. You know, I think there's some aspect of realism to it, especially given the circumstances that we faced in the last, couple of years, and the potential for a virus to get out of control and for people to get infected and whatever.
Yeah.
But I feel like, in terms of Resident Evil, it's a little too fiction, I guess. Like with The Last of Us potentially being nonfiction to a certain degree. I don't know. That's just my take on it.
I'm just gonna be fascinated by like the little things they changed and the big things. But like the little things that I've already noticed about like The Last of Us is like we meet Ellie's mom. Like that's in the trailer. Like we know that's in the show. That's not in the game at all. And that's just interesting to me right there. With RE4, characters are gone, like just straight up not in the game. So how do they do certain things? How does Leon get to the island, which still totally exists, where there's literally a war that happens? I don't understand how they're going to tell that in like a way that's coherent and makes sense, like they've been trying to do with the previous remakes, where they're more grounded and realistic, even though they're still pretty corny, but they're not going to be as perfectly corny as Resident Evil 4, the original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess we'll see.
All right, guys, let's talk about what we're playing. Mary finished Yakuza 0. How was it?
did. I liked
Yeah,
it
boy.
a lot.
Yay.
It's one of those things where it's like I kind of paused and I was like, do I really want to do like the finale chapter? Because like I got like that big title screen and I was like, this is the end. And so I kind of like stalled a little bit. Then I was like, no, I gotta. I was like, I've come this far, like, and like the main quest leading up to that was like such a really good build up. I thought I was like, I'm doing this. I was like, all right, I'll stop doing my real estate. I'll stop doing my cabaret club management. I was like, I have to know like how this is gonna wrap up. And I really liked it a lot. So I'm glad I played it finally. It's one of those games that's like been on my radar for years. And I've been told I would like it. I just never was like, okay, I'll play it. And finally somebody here played all of them last year. And then I felt like I was really missing out.
Yeah.
So
Drank that
but-
Kool-Aid and then I forced it on everybody else.
Yep. So I'm glad I did though. And then I played some more Hades and I had started to like do my quest for the Extreme Measures 4 clear, and I did it a lot faster than I thought I would.
Yeah, that went real fast.
Yeah, I looked at my log. It took me a total of 14 attempts and 6 of them were on stream. So
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Dang.
but
Very
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yep. Have one more challenge
Cool.
for myself in Hades, and then I'll feel like completely mastered for it. My
boy.
the next thing I want to try is I want to try doing like the fresh file clear, but that's gonna take time, I think, because a part of that's
Yeah.
luck based. So
Right.
I hate that kind of stuff.
yeah,
Like
I mean,
anything
you
that's
could-
luck based. What?
You could just put hundreds of hours into becoming a Hades speedrunner, and then you could do it in like 20 minutes.
There you go.
yeah. Maybe I'll start speedrunning it. Who knows? But,
What game is next for you? Are you just waiting for Fire Emblem?
kind of. I am going to attempt to finish up Xenoblade Chronicles. That was the like Yakuza 0 and Xenoblade Chronicles were the two games that I had started in 2022 and didn't finish. And I was going to try to finish them before Fire Emblem. So I've done Yakuza 0 and I'm like, okay, I think I'm at near-ish the end of Xenoblade. It's starting to feel very end gamey again. So I was like, okay, I think I can just kind of dedicate like all my attention to that and get it nice, wrapped up a little bow, done, and then Fire Emblem.
Do you remember anything about like where you're at in Xenoblade? I can maybe give you an idea.
We're on.
Oh yeah,
I'm trying to think of like how to say it without like spoilers. Because Greg, were you playing it, or did you give up on it, or did you beat it?
I haven't
Greg,
given up, but I am jealous
beat a
that you
JRPG.
finished one of the two games that we were both playing.
Yeah. So, I don't know how to say it without spoilers.
Okay,
you
then
can-
never mind. You
Let
don't
it
have
fly.
to.
Let it fly.
just I kind of have an idea of where you are just based off of your fear of revealing things. Like I
Yeah,
think there's a couple particular spots it could be.
we're on the Mechonis, if that helps. Like,
Okay.
wait, or is it? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
the other giant thingy.
yeah, and making the journey, yeah, up there. So, like I said, there's a lot going on in the background too. So that's why I'm saying it's starting to feel end gamey-ish again. You know,
Mhm.
this is probably end game part 2, the final remix before it launches into end game part 5.
Yeah, that
Yep.
definitely happens. Yeah.
That definitely happened with that game specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Xenoblade, I went down the rabbit hole again of like looking up Xenoblade Chronicles X because it's a game I'm so interested in playing, but I'm really like Nintendo has until March to announce the
Mhm.
Switch port. If they don't, I'm gonna buy it on Wii U on the eShop, and if they seriously announce it right after I buy it, I'm gonna go to Nintendo and not do anything because that sounds like a lawsuit waiting to happen. I just really don't want to get screwed because I really want to play it. Like I watch all these videos about how like this game is extremely underrated. Like people didn't really understand it. That like a lot of the story comes from the side missions, and I'm like, I need to play this game. It looks so awesome. Like graphically, I still think it might look the best of them all.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's very
it's on the-
weird.
They use such a distinct art direction that like melds more realism with its more cartoony anime style.
Mhm.
And it just looks breathtaking, and I just really want to play it because I've now played every game in the series and completed every game in the series except Torna and Chronicles X. That's the only ones.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
Just
I'm waiting
just
for
like
a Torna sale.
I'm just like like flipping through Google image search, just like admiring what XCX looks like, and
It looks
yeah,
so good.
yeah, like even dealing with like the limited draw distances of the Wii U, like man, like it's a very pretty game.
And
Mhm.
the reasoning had something to do with the Wii U gamepad, and like I watch a bunch of reviews. No one ever mentions what's going on in the gamepad. Like, does it even matter? Like, is that really a reason why they can't port it to Switch?
I mean, kinda, yeah, because like I don't even remember how it works anymore, but like a bizarrely large part of Xenoblade Chronicles X is you explore new locations, but then you also like mine these locations for like resources and stuff. And again, I truly don't remember how it works at all. I just remember that it's a thing and you do it a lot. So you're actually very often like pressing buttons like on the map display.
For the mining?
Like, yeah, like telling it where to like extract resources or what have you. Yeah, it is actually a big component. And I
I
mean
wonder if they
the
could
whole
change that though, like to on the
You
screen.
could do it on like a map
think
ping
so.
screen or something.
yeah,
Mhm.
like if they tried hard enough, I'm sure they could redesign it. It would have to basically be a redesign because it was very touch based before. But it's I don't think it'd be impossible. I don't know. But the whole game is
What if it was
truly
a-
exploration though.
What if
Yeah.
they did a remake of it instead of just a remaster?
I don't think they would remake it. They don't remake like they didn't really remake Xenoblade Chronicles 1. They just remastered it heavily, and I think that
Mhm.
Yeah.
worked out nice.
Yeah.
That's
I
actually like
don't
my
know.
preferred thing to do. Like they kept the core game and just added a bunch of quality of life enhancements, changed the character models, made them look more modern, and just the overall graphics look much better. But it's still like the same game. I kind of like that. Same
Yeah.
with The Last of Us. Like I think I talked shit on it back when it came out, but I'm starting to prefer that method in comparison to like what's an example like Resident Evil 2 remake where it's like they changed the entire game and it's like everything's different. Like I kind of would have liked a Resident Evil 2 that's the exact same, just the only thing that was different was that the camera is in third person now, which I mean that's essentially what the new one was, but like they changed a bunch of stuff like regardless. I don't know, I'm just talking my ass now. um let's go over. Oh wait, yeah. Who's next? John, you didn't really play much because you're reviewing a game, right?
Like not even reviewing it. I just kind of had the code. We have somebody else reviewing it, but
Oh,
like, so here's the thing. I think I can talk a little bit about it just because like I've already seen like random ass streamers just like posting like Lamau, this game rules on Twitter, yada yada yada. So the game I've been playing is Moonrider, or it got a longer title recently. I think it's Vengeful Guardian Moonrider. It is
Hmm.
it's by the
Come
guys
again?
that yeah, it's by
is it on the
the
screen right now? Is that what that is?
yes, yeah, Moonrider. It's
I
by
thought it
I
was
think
Xenoblade.
it's I know it looks the same. It's I think it's by actually a married Brazilian couple that I follow on Twitter. They made Blazing Chrome, which was the game that like was like very Contra-ish,
The
and that game was
Contra.
awesome.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that game was awesome. Yeah. So this
What a
game,
change!
Moonrider,
Shit.
This looks right
yeah,
up my alley. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah. The art style is very like Sega Genesis-ish. It's like well, you can just sort of see it, or but for the people who can't see it, it's like kind of like an intentionally like grungy pixel art style, and it's like uh it's got a very like 80s dystopian movie feel, like all those like mid-budget kind of crappy movies that have like this very strong like grunge punk aesthetic. Like that's this video game translated into pixel art, except with like killer robots and stuff.
Hell yeah.
And gameplay wise, it basically combines a little bit of Mega Man X with like maybe like Strider, like those sorts of ninja games.
Mm.
So like there you can select which levels you want to play, like in Mega Man. You get a power up when you defeat a boss, like in Mega Man. Some of the designs are straight up lifted from Mega Man. Like there's like a mini boss that is like 95% a mini boss from Mega Man X. But that being said, it's not a clone of anything else. It's very much its own thing, and it's a really really good action game. I probably can't talk about like its length or anything, but like I'm just gonna say like Moonrider's really good. If you think you're gonna like this sort of game, you're probably going to like this sort of game. I think I can say that much.
Is that like a
And what's it
genre, like
available on?
a
Sorry.
Mega Man like?
Eh.
It's
Because like 20XX was kind of similar too.
right, and again, like I don't want to sell this as being like a Mega Man X clone because it's not. I mean, it's his main attack is close range, so if anything, it's like a
Mm.
Zero Mega Man X4 sort of thing. But like yeah, it's just a really good action game. But if you've played a lot of Mega Man X, you'll notice the Mega Man X overtones. But it doesn't truly play like Mega Man X. Similar structure though.
Nice.
I
I've
think
been
this
kind of
game's
craving a game like this.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
looks
think this
sick.
game's coming out on. I think it's coming to
I
everything.
think
Like
everything.
maybe I don't remember if it's coming to Xbox, but
It's coming to all platforms, but it's not on Xbox.
yeah. Well, I think it's coming to like Amazon Luna,
What's it
but
called
maybe not
again?
Xbox.
What?
Vengeful
Okay.
Guardian Moonrider. I know for sure it's coming to Switch and Steam. I'm pretty sure it's coming to PlayStation.
It's coming on everything except Xbox. You're right. It's on
There you go.
Microsoft Windows, Amazon Luna, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5,
See?
and Nintendo Switch, and PS3. No, I'm just kidding. Um,
If you got an Xbox over Amazon Luna, you made a mistake.
that is weird.
Yeah.
Like that's just weird. Like Amazon Luna, really? I don't know.
know what
But
to
what do
tell
they
you.
mean by Microsoft Windows? Does that mean it's only on?
PC.
Yeah, but does that mean it's on the actual Windows Store? Or does that just mean Steam?
probably.
Yeah,
No,
I
I
think
think
it'll be
Microsoft has its own
Windows
store.
Store.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so maybe
Yeah,
it'll
which is
still be
weird
on
'cause
game on streamable or something. I don't know.
they'll always do weird shit like that. They'll put it on like Windows Store, but then you
Mm.
can't find it in the Xbox PC app. And then like Game Pass stuff is in the Xbox PC app, but then it won't be like sometimes in the Microsoft
That's
Store,
weird.
or it'll I wish they would just figure that out already.
Apparently, they've been trying, but I heard on another podcast from Jez Corden from Windows Central that they actually were working on the PC stuff and making like big steps to get it all working right, but they moved everyone over to the streaming side because they were having more numbers there than they expected. So a lot of people are working on streaming stuff now.
I'm just glad it finally got to a point where you can be on Xbox and we can join a party and we're not trying to figure out mics working, and like whenever we join a party and you're on Xbox and I'm on PC, that it just
instant.
works without having to like quit,
Yeah.
kill the
Mm.
game,
There's no
come
like
back.
room numbers or anything, or like you got to join a
Awful.
chat number. But yeah, I mean, I talk about this all the time, but I do like how the Xbox ecosystem is tied to everything. Like that's one of the reasons why I like it.
Yeah.
But all right, that game looks awesome. Any else? Like, is there anything else you're playing, John?
Basically, just more Dragon Ball: The Breakers.
I saw you on
The
at like
game of
like 1 in the
2022.
morning. I was like, "There's
Yep.
John playing Dragon Ball, of course."
I mean, I know quality.
Greg, speaking of Xbox Game Pass on PC, I hear you're playing Stranded Deep, a new surprise game that dropped on Game Pass. How's that going?
Yeah, I really like it. It's like one of those games where like I was just kind of, I'm coming kind of back from like the holiday slump and trying to get back into gaming. Instead of playing a bunch of games like I thought I was, I think my brain just needed a break. And so we watched a lot of movies and caught up on some other stuff. But yeah, I picked it up randomly. I saw it. I was like, oh, that'd be a fun game to play. And it was actually pretty interesting. Like they like drop you in and there's like plane crash. It's already out on Steam, but it just came to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate on. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. And they drop you in on this like plane, and then the plane crashes, and then you're on an island, but they don't really give you any direction, like
We're talking
how
about
to
Fortnite,
craft.
right?
Yeah, Fortnite. The AR is OP. But then like they don't really tell you like the button key bindings or anything like that. And so I was like, well, what am I even doing? And then I finally figured out, what the crafting menu is and started like pick up items. And I went into it solo and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna, see if I can join or host a game so that I can see if anybody else joins. And I did have a couple people join. Like one person dropped in and started crafting like a shelter, a couple items, because you can get you can make yourself like a little knife blade out of rock, and then you can craft more of those and build it into an axe. And then you have to manage like your food and your water and everything like that. But it was just kind of nice to play something where I wasn't overly thinking, or I wasn't, trying to communicate with somebody else about strategy, or like, have to like, find cover and my heart's pounding. It was just nice to like do something, except there are like sharks in the game, and like you can eat poisonous stuff and you have to remedy yourself. But I don't know, it's a pretty game for feeling like a kind of like a budget indie. But I'm actually looking forward to jumping back in and being able to like up my crafting level to get like this fortified spear to go spear fishing, to get some sardines. And like you can climb palm trees and get coconuts out of it, and then you like use your little blade that you've crafted. You can cut open coconuts to then drink the water out of them, and then if you mash them up more, you can then eat the half coconut. And I know it sounds like really stupid, but for some reason I was like, why do I enjoy this so much? Except for the panic in the water with the hammerhead shark at night. Like everything else has been, this is like, I was like, why is this my kind of game right now? And so I've just been kind of enjoying that. Of course, the usual Apex Legends grind, staying on top of my gold status, trying to move into platinum before the season ends. And then I randomly booted up that Netflix Triviaverse. I don't know if anybody else has played
Somebody
it,
had
but
to.
you can.
Mm-mm.
But I was laying in bed one night and I was like, oh, what do I want to watch right now? And I was like, what's this? Play with your phone. And then so you log into the Netflix app on your phone. And the only thing I don't like they could have just made it simple with like little panels or panes on your phone to select A, B, C, or D. But they give you a directional pad that's like supposed to be like whatever TV remote you could also use. And you have to swipe to the left or swipe to the right to select your answers. And I'm like,
Stupid.
this
They
is
could just
stupid.
put four
Yeah.
buttons on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And,
weird.
and there's a lot of like weirdly enough like NASCAR and Formula One questions in like the trivia, and I'm like, why are these even in here? Like there's like a football question, and then like a random like sci-fi movie, and then there's like two NASCAR questions, and I'm like, why are these here? But I thought it was like, for what it was, just being able to, like, if you're laying in bed and you want to play a game and just chill out and do some trivia. I love Jeopardy. I don't know why, but sometimes I've even called my mom on the phone and queued up Jeopardy, and we all played together just watching it. So I don't know. I like trivia,
That's
and this
awesome.
is just kind of something. Yeah, it's like just kind of neat to have. Is like, hey, if you're not doing anything, you should load up the trivia verse and give it a shot, and you can unlock like new tiers, and the difficulty goes up over 3 rounds. So yeah.
I'm surprised with how little great trivia games there are on console. Because I've done this a lot, where like a bunch of people come over and we're all like, let's play a trivia game, and then you got Jackbox, and then that's pretty much it. That's like the only good one. The rest of them are just
Jackbox Party
weirdly
Pack
put
is pretty
together.
good.
Yeah, I mean, I played Jackbox, but that's like the only one. There's like nothing that's like, I don't know. Like I used to have this DVD, this DVD that like played random clips from a movie. Like it would play like 5 seconds, and then you had to guess like what
Oh.
movie it was.
Seen it.
I don't. Yeah, maybe that was it.
Mhm.
And
I had it
that
for
was
Xbox
fun.
and
Like
all the remotes.
I wish that would happen nowadays, but like they don't do like fun stuff like that anymore. Or they'd play like
They
an
used to have
audio
that one
clip
on-
from a movie.
They used to have that one on Xbox Live where it was like a live game show and you played against other people.
Yeah. What was
I don't
that
think it was
called?
1 versus 100, but it was something like that.
Yeah. But yeah, for me, for what I've been playing, Euden Chronicle Rising. This is the smaller game ahead of Euden Chronicle 100 Hero. Is that what it's called, John?
Something like that. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think-
so this
yeah.
is the studio. They decided to put out this game before the bigger game, but this is still like a nice, meaty, great experience. It's absolutely stunning. It's a gorgeous 2D side-scrolling action RPG. And at first, like I played this at launch, and I was like, this is just busy work. This whole game is busy work. It just wants you to run around and do random tasks, and I'm not really about it. And then I literally went to my Xbox home screen. I was just like making space. And I was like, I could probably delete this now. And I was like, oh, I'll just play it. And then I just got addicted to it. And now, like at the end of the game, I've done almost every single side mission possible. And for some reason now, sooner or later, it gets its hooks into you, where you're just addicted to collecting these stamps. There's like this row of stamps that's always at the top of your screen. And you can first collect 20 and then 50 and then 50 more. And I'm currently on the last batch of like 50 stamps. I got like probably 20 left. And all of that's mostly side quests. Like it's totally optional. You don't even have to do it. But there's something so satisfying about going out into the open sections, like where you're fighting enemies and like collecting loot. And then a thing will pop up at the bottom of your screen that says, you collected this amount of things. You can now complete this task. So then you're like, oh, okay. So you go back to him in the town and you get your stamp, and then maybe something else, or like maybe your level will go up from getting XP. And then sooner or later, you're just like, you're addicted to it. It's like, oh, okay. So I went out once and I just completed like 5 side quests. So I need to go back into town, talk to all these people, and you literally have to run to each and every one of them throughout the town. You got to like spawn like in each area, because it's like separated in like sections, but like if you press select and it'll bring up the whole town. You just click it and it loads so fast that it's like it doesn't feel annoying. It almost feels satisfying to just click, talk to a person, collect a stamp, click, talk to a person, collect a stamp. And I just got really into it out of nowhere. The story itself, haven't really gotten that into it. It's just kind of generic seeming. I didn't pay a ton of attention, but I probably will on the next one because that's the one that's supposed to be more story focused or whatever. And the next one's a turn-based game, so I'm interested to see how they go from action RPG to turn-based RPG. But now I'm totally on board with the next game. And once again, it's a RPG. I don't even know if it's a JRPG. I don't know where the studio's from, but I'm playing it on Xbox and it's on Game Pass. And it's like, man, this ecosystem's awesome. I can play it on my G Cloud, on my phone, on my Xbox, on my Series X, Xbox One. No matter what room I'm in, the save just constantly hops back and forth. So I get so much satisfaction out of being able to game anywhere I want, and my save just follow me wherever I go. So yeah, I know I always talk about the stupid old Xbox ecosystem, but it's just really convenient and awesome. And I convinced Brett recently to purchase Hogwarts and another game. I don't remember which else one. Well, 2 games on Xbox because I actually got 2 gift cards. Sounds like sweet. Brett has to play on Xbox, and I get to play on my preferred platform in whatever room I want. But yeah, so aside from that game's really good, by the way. Euden Chronicle Rising. Everyone should go check it out. The combat's actually fun too. I didn't really get into anything else, but the combat's actually like really satisfying. You play as 3 different characters. And oh yeah, and another addicting element is each section, like there's like a forest, there's like tombs, there's like a volcano. It tells you the percentage of which that you've explored, and every time you complete like a whole section, you get an Xbox achievement. And I don't even care about achievements, but there's something satisfying about getting 100% and then seeing that achievement pop. So I'm just like, all right, I'm freaking addicted to this game. Aside from that, still on the Elden Ring grind. I think I'm on boss. Let's see. I think I saved it in my phone. I'm on out of 12. I've beaten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out of 12 bosses. So I'm pretty far into the game. I think I'm about 60 hours in by now, and I'm still on the grind. It's really hard for me because I'm not a Souls guy at all. I haven't had any other like amazing transcending experiences like I did with the wolf and the bears, the story that I told on a previous episode. The open world I still think is cool, but I've just not seen anything that's like, whoa, mind-blowing anything. I still think overall I wouldn't put the open world up there with something like Red Dead or Breath of the Wild, but that's just my opinion. I'm sorry, people out there. Maybe it'll change. I still probably have like 30 hours left in the game, to be honest. Like, maybe even more, depending on how hard these bosses are. But yeah, it's still really good. And this boss I'm on though, like I fought him twice, and I'm thinking like, there's no way I can beat this guy. Like there is no way in my current state that I could beat this guy. I need to go like grind for like hours or like figure out some type of cheese to defeat him. But yeah, and then lastly, I booted up and played. Oh wait, I also forgot. One more game I completed this week because I'm trying to do beat at least 1 game a week this year. I completed.
That's a lot of games.
I was saying, I'm like, how?
Well, I actually averaged that last year, so I think I can do it again. Which I didn't even know I did until someone told me. Sin and Punishment on the N64 on the Switch Online.
Oh yeah.
It's a really short game. I'm like, you know what? I could probably play through this. And I started it last year, so I already played like an hour of it. So I just finished off like the last 2-3 hours, however long it was. And it's a really awesome game that I can't even believe came out when it did. Like the visuals, the explosions, it's like so cinematic for such an old game. And I had to put myself in that
shooter,
mindset.
right?
Yeah,
Like
it's an on-rails
Mhm.
shooter where
Yeah.
you control the running and the jumping and like the sword swing and the shooting.
Alright, that's cool.
And I actually played the second one first. I still want to actually finish off the second one. I started it on the Wii U. And I was like, I want to play through this one as well. So, and this game wasn't actually in America at all until the Wii U released it digitally. They skipped the American launch, which is funny because the original game on N64 in Japan had all English voiceover. and it never came to America until a
Weird.
decade later on Wii.
Nice.
So yeah, it's just a really special little game. Story, no idea what's going on. Like I watched like a story recap, like what's this game about, and I still don't even remember or understand. And lastly, one little thing I wanted to make fun of Pokemon about is that I've started Pokemon Coliseum on the G Cloud, and it is crazy to me how this is like a console Pokemon game that I never played as a kid. I like booted it up at my cousin's house a little bit, but I didn't really play it much. And it actually feels like a console Pokemon game, like in more ways than Pokemon like the new ones. Like it opens up with like this cinematic cutscene, a wall explodes, some dude busts into a building and steals some shit and then leaves on his Pokemon motorcycle thingy. And it's like, so it's like, wow, like it'd be cool to see that nowadays in a Pokemon game, but they would never, like the cutscenes aren't like that. They're so calm and peaceful and everything's fine. And it seems really mature for a Pokemon game that came out on GameCube in like 2004 or whenever. I don't even remember when it was. But combat wise, it's pretty much like a traditional Pokemon game, which I didn't know if they mix it up a bit, but it's very much Pokemon. Like everything about it just feels like a mainline Pokemon game so far. Like I'm surprised that this was never really categorized or was never really talked about as a mainline Pokemon game. And I'm assuming that's just because it wasn't on mobile back in the day, like on Game Boy or DS.
Mhm.
So it just wasn't in the conversation as like being a mainline game. But it feels like I'm just playing like a new Pokemon game, partly because the graphics and animations are on par with the new Pokemon games, basically. The graphics, no, they don't look as good. Like, I'm not trying to talk that much shit. The graphics don't look as good as the new ones, but the animations legitimately are like 5 times better than any modern Pokemon game. These Pokemon have so much personality. They come out of the Pokeball, they're like, whoa, what's going on, guys? Like, holy crap, I'm gonna go hit this guy. Like, they are ready. And then when they do their attacks, they're like charged up and they're like running toward them, and then they the way the camera cuts is like perfect. Like it cuts right when the attack happens. So you'll see the Pokemon run out of frame and you'll see like a bam, and then they'll show the other Pokemon getting smacked in the head and do like a backflip and fall on the ground and be like, oh my God, that hurt. And you don't see that nowadays. You just don't. And then like when a Pokemon faints in this game, they're legitimately like dying. They're like, ugh, and they just pass out. And then in the new Pokemon games, they just like
Pokemon doesn't capture the specter of death anymore.
It doesn't. It doesn't. In the new Pokemon games, they literally like the Pokemon model is just standing there and it shrinks. Like that's it. That's all that happens. And I'm sure I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I was honestly really impressed by the animations and just the effects that are on screen, like when they do these attacks. Like they're so much more detailed and awesome. And it's probably because Game Freak did not make this game, and whoever did was like, wait, we have the power of a console for a Pokemon game. We can do so much stuff that they can't, so let's do it. And they put it in the game. And then when Game Freak gets the power of a console, they're like, let's do the same thing and make billions of dollars. And yeah, so sorry for rambling for so long, but this has been Spot Dodge. This is a little of a shorter show. I mean, we're still out here at an hour and a half mark, but we started late. But Mary, if people want to know where to find you, where can they go?
You can find me here every Tuesday. You can also find me over on the Destructoid TikTok channel, making all sorts of fun stuff. And if you want to just see what I'm playing, what I'm up to, you can find me on Twitter and Twitch. Mary Wants a Cookie.
Nice. And guys, I do gotta say, sorry about the long rants I get to at the very end of the episode. Like I've been all week, I think about all the stuff I want to talk about. It does. All week long, I'm like, I want to talk about this, I want to talk about this, but I don't want to do it like right in the middle of the show or like right at the beginning. Like I got to patiently wait to the end where I can let it all out, and then yeah. But John, what about you? Where can people go?
Find me at The Escapist. You can find me right here. You can find me at my house. You can find me
At the intersection of I-170 and Highway 40.
Something like that. Yeah, and I'm making my video game Boss Saga, boss-saga.com. Right now I'm separately I'm kind of messing around with an engine called GB Studio, which lets you make your own Game Boy games. So that might be.
I saw the
Oh,
image
nice.
and it looked
Yeah.
amazing. Like that looked fantastic.
Yeah, I showed you a little image, and I found out after I made it, it turns out even that was actually breaking the rules of complexity for Game Boy, which is
Oh my
hilarious.
god.
I was using
shit.
4 colors. I was using 4 colors, but I didn't use them. I didn't use them in the right way, so I was still breaking the limits of Game Boy. I went overboard. I had a sprite with 4 colors. That's too much.
Can't
4
handle
colors
it.
only for the backgrounds. 3
Nope.
colors for the sprite. So, but I
Can't
fixed
handle that 0.03 RAM inside of the Game Boy Color.
Very hardcore experience, but yeah, I think it's a really cool thing. Like with GB Studio, you can export to like an actual Game Boy cart and play it on a Game Boy if you have that sort of thing handy.
That's amazing.
It's very
That's
cool. Or you can export it like directly to the web to download to upload rather to itch.io, which is very cool.
So wait, would I be able to like download it and like play it on a Game Boy emulator?
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
make your own game, man.
Yeah,
Well,
I was gonna say, I think the Analog Pocket supports like that too. I feel like I saw that like in the menu when I was like flipping through
Ooh.
it.
Yeah, I think so. So well, the thing is, at first I thought you could like even maybe port it to places like Steam or maybe even a console, and it turns out like you you can technically do that, but not out of the box. You actually have to know how to like port the thing yourself.
Mhm.
So it's like it sounds like it might not be too complex for Steam, but to get it on a console like Switch, it sounds like you'd have to literally package it like with the Game Boy emulator to run it on, which would probably mean like licensing from somebody who's made a Game Boy emulator. So that could get
Mhm.
complex. I'm like, I don't know if I want to jump through all those hoops for like a little game. Cause like the end goal would be to like sell it for like, I don't know, $6-7 and literally just use that money to then invest in the big game, Boss Saga, the one
And
that
just
really
rake in the
matters.
money.
Exactly.
Dude,
Yeah.
John, if you
So,
published your game on like PSN or the eShop or something, I would definitely buy it. So you got $7 from me.
well, $7
You'd
for
probably
the
split it with
hypothetical
Brett.
game.
Actually, as a matter of fact, you better send me a review code because I'm not paying for that.
Gamers, can you
Well-
pay for this, please?
Gamers
Well-
pay for that.
Boss Saga is being made in Unity, and that will have a release date of 2054. But
Yep.
hypothetical GB Studio game, that's all to be determined. So stay tuned.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Stay
Yeah.
tuned. Greg, where can people go to find you?
You can find me on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitch. I think that's it. All at dynamite_giraffe. And then you can find me over my bylines over PC Invasion at PCinvasion.com.
Awesome. And if you want to find me, head over to Twitter at BrettNLL, over on the Destructoid TikTok as well at Destructoid, where we're putting up videos every single day of the week almost. And yeah, this has been Spot Dodge. If you made it this far, thanks a lot for hanging out. Really means a lot. Also, if you wouldn't mind, leave us a review over on iTunes or Spotify. That would also mean a lot. We really need some more reviews so we can continue to show up in the algorithm. And I want to say we've almost done a full year of this show without missing a single Tuesday. We've done it, you
Damn.
guys. We have freaking done it.
Nice.
Next
Damn,
month.
son.
Next month is our I'll have to look, but I think it was February we started the show.
Probably,
and
yeah.
Somewhere
it's
around
been,
there.
or maybe it was January. Maybe it's been around almost.
It was one of these 2 months for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks everyone who's been listening and tuning in to that. There's like a small group of like 40 people who will listen to the show tonight as soon as I upload it. And it's like, wow, those are some passionate fans. But yeah, we get like 200 every episode on the audio feed, and like that's more than I ever actually imagined. If I'm being honest, like podcasts are hard to grow. Like they're really hard to grow. So if we have a consistent 200 dedicated listeners, that's all I need. But anything past that has exceeded my expectations. Like I'm officially living the dream, if you know what I mean.
We've arrived.
I think you're just happy.
It's all
You're
thanks
happy
to you
200
guys.
people are listening to your rant.
Yes,
Rants.
yes.
Yeah.
Rants. Because all I want to do is
Soapbox
talk about the
rants.
stuff I'm passionate about. So if anyone takes the time to listen and care, that's the dream. That is the dream. So yeah, thanks a lot for hanging out, you guys. And we'll talk to you later. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
See ya.